In the cold dawn, whispers of betrayal spread across Ragnar's clan, like frost creeping through the longhouse walls.
Bjorn's loyalty was torn, caught between blood oath and the lure of whispered promises.
Freya, the shield maiden, sensed unrest in the air and warned Ragnar of shadows within their ranks.
But betrayal was already set in motion, and eyes of envy pierced the clan's heart.
Ragnar felt the weight of command, for the clan's unity now balanced on the edge of a blade.
Whispers grew louder, and suspicion spread like wildfire within the clan.
An oath was broken, and betrayal left its scar upon the warrior's honor.
You broke your oath.
I did not.
Freya's eyes watched closely, ready to strike if blood was drawn among brothers. But the clan's patience snapped, and steel sang within the hall. Ragnar rose above the storm, his voice and presence cutting through the madness.
The hall fell silent, the weight of Ragnar's authority pressing down like winter's frost.
But Ragnar's eyes found Bjorn, the brother who faltered on the edge of loyalty. The clan watched, breath held, as trust itself stood on trial. Freya stepped forward, her words unspoken, yet her presence pleading for restraint. Yet Ragnar knew that betrayal left unchecked would poison the heart of his people. The clan held its breath, the fate of loyalty and betrayal balanced on Ragnar's next move. Bjorn trembled, the warrior who once swore blood oath now standing at the edge of doom.
Ragnar's roar broke the silence, his command like thunder over frozen seas.
The clan bent beneath his will, for Ragnar's wrath was law, and none dared defy him. Thus Ragnar stood unchallenged, his authority sealed in fire and silence.
But the seed of betrayal, once planted, does not die easily. It festers in the shadows.
Bjorn, tore by guilt, watched them from afar, his heart chained between loyalty and temptation.
Freya's instincts did not rest, for she felt eyes watching from the darkness.
The conspirators' whispers grew bolder, their treachery now carried by the winter winds. Ragnar knew silence was deadly, for whispers in the dark could drown even the loudest roar.
Night deepened, and in the silence, betrayal sharpened its blade.
Bjorn lingered at the doorway, torn between blood and betrayal. Inside the longhouse, Ragnar sharpened his axe, for a chieftain never sleeps when danger lurks.
Freya stood guard at the threshold, her spear ready, her instincts sharper than steel.
The clan slept uneasily, for even in dreams, the shadow of betrayal lingered. But in the dead of night, traitors moved like wolves among the sleeping flock. Bjorn followed them, his conscience battling his silence.
Freya's vigilance caught the stir of movement, her instincts like a hawk over prey.
The conspirators froze, caught in the gaze of the shield maiden's fury. Steel was drawn in silence, for betrayal speaks not with words, but with blood. The clash of steel shattered the silence, and the night awoke with fury.
Bjorn arrived, torn between aiding his blood or silencing his guilt.
Freya's fury struck true, her spear piercing through the traitor's guard.
Bjorn chose at last, his axe rising not for treachery, but for truth.
But victory bore no joy, for betrayal revealed itself in blood and kin.
The knight carried the weight of betrayal back into the longhouse, where silence cut deeper than steel.
All eyes turned to Ragnar, the chieftain whose judgment would carve the fate of the clan.
Bjorn stood before his chieftain, torn by blood and shame.
Freya's voice remained silent, yet her eyes pleaded for mercy.
Ragnar rose, his judgment heavy as iron, for betrayal demanded blood. The hall trembled under the weight of judgment, every soul waiting for Ragnar's hand to fall.
Bjorn's heart thundered as he bowed, his life hanging by the edge of steel.
But Ragnar's strike fell not on Bjorn, but on the memory of betrayal. Mercy was granted, yet the warning struck deeper than death.
Thus Ragnar's authority was sealed, for fear and loyalty bound the clan tighter than chains. Yet loyalty born of fear is fragile, for the embers of betrayal still smoldered.
Freya's watchful eyes pierced the gloom, for nothing escaped the shield maiden's gaze.
Bjorn sat apart, weighed down by shame, his oath cracked yet not broken. Ragnar's silence was thunder, his authority unquestioned, but his eyes missed nothing. Thus the clan endured the night, bound by fear, loyalty, and the shadow of betrayal.
Morning came harsh and cold, and with it, the scars of the night remained.
Ragnar gathered the clan, for strength demanded unity, even in the shadow of betrayal.
Bjorn stood among them, marked not by chains, but by the burden of his shame.
Freya's presence was unshaken, her loyalty to Ragnar a shield against the clan's doubts.
Thus Ragnar spoke, his voice forging the clan's fate as iron strikes steel.
The clan listened, for Ragnar's words were not merely command, but survival itself. Bjorn lowered his head, his shame laid bare before his brothers. Ragnar's voice cut through the air, binding the clan tighter than blood.
Freya's eyes searched the crowd, knowing trust once broken must always be guarded.
Thus the clan stood united once more, their fate carved by Ragnar's will and sealed by fire and frost. But shadows still lingered, for betrayal leaves wounds deeper than any blade.
Freya approached, her loyalty to Ragnar tempered with compassion for Bjorn.
Ragnar watched from afar, for a chieftain bears not only strength but the burden of mercy.
The clan's unity had been reforged, but the cracks of treachery could never be fully healed. Thus Ragnar's rule was carved in fire and frost, a warning to all who would betray the clan.
But even as the clan roared their loyalty, silence carried secrets yet untold.
Freya's gaze swept the crowd, sensing unease in the shadows.
Bjorn stood silent, torn between redemption and the weight of his betrayal. Ragnar raised his voice, the chieftain's command echoing like thunder across the fjord. Thus the saga was sealed, unity forged through fire, frost, and the blood of the faithless. But the tale of betrayal is never truly ended. It only sleeps.
Thus the saga continues. For blood and glory carve the fate of the North.
Don't miss the next legend. Subscribe for more Viking tales.